There's a dead baby. There's a dead...
Right? What the freak you mean, am I in trouble? It's a dead baby. What you think, ho? Thought you was about to walk out free and buy some old heroin and crack and cocaine? Buy some old boy? It's a dead boy, ho.
Yeah, I'm in the big boy talking. Yeah, got big boy racks. Yeah, got big boy diamonds.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Bro, y'all see that freaking pimple, bro?
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly why I drink water only, bro. I don't understand how people drink pop every day. The reason I got this pimple is because I drunk. The reason I got this pimple is because I drank an energy drink the other day. But alright guys, we haven't watched one of these in a minute. Explore with us, or we haven't watched one of these ooh woo body cam. So let's just watch one. Grandma's 911 call leads to horrific discovery.
That is your grandson lying there dead on the couch.
Don't look away, ho.
Look at that. No. Look at that.
This grandma, we already starting off. This grandma killed her grandson. These people don't be caring about these babies, bro.
No.
I prayed with your daughter over your dead grandson.
When a 5-year-old boy suddenly dies under mysterious circumstances, investigators in Dayton, Ohio desperately search for an explanation.
What's more important to you? Someone getting in trouble or the fact that your grandson is dead? Then prove it or walk out that door.
The following report is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. On the morning of Saturday, March 30th, 2024, Dayton dispatchers receive a chilling 911 call.
A child had died in his sleep. He went to sleep as he is. Please come, please.
Ma'am. What is going on with your child?
He laid down, went to sleep, and I was on the couch with him. Me and my he's my grandson, and he won't wake up. He's cold as ice. His nose was bleeding. I wiped his nose, and he didn't move.
Okay, ma'am, how old is he?
5. I was babysitting him, and he's cold as ice. He's cold. He won't move.
There's no breathing at all or anything?
No, nothing at all. Oh, please. I called his mom. She's on her way. Oh, God. Is somebody coming?
Yes,
Somebody
Stephanie. Was
coming?
that Stephanie? As soon as we could come, we had help on the way, okay?
Okay.
We're going to do what we can to help you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
The child would later be identified as 5-year-old Charles Anthony Brown. Police and paramedics arrive to the scene, but it quickly becomes clear that the young boy is beyond any hope of resuscitation.
It's up to.
Hey, Steph. When was the last time you saw him?
What the freak happened, bro?
No. When was the last time you saw him moving?
We went to sleep, and then we all went to sleep. And I slept on
What time was that?
about, I can't remember, about, I guess 10 or 11 or so.
10 or 11 last night? Yeah. Okay.
An officer speaks with the child's grandmother, 58-year-old Stephanie Shanks, who was babysitting the 3 grandchildren while their mother was at work.
Does he have any health issues or anything?
No, he wasn't, nothing.
Okay, and you said you saw him last night?
Yes, about 10. I mean, he went in that position, and then that's where he was at, and then I seen some.
So when you saw him, he was sleeping?
No, I got up this morning, I wiped his nose, and something coming out his nose.
Okay, so about
And
10
I
this
wiped it,
morning?
the stuff is still in the toilet. I put it in the toilet, I didn't flush it. And
Okay,
he didn't move. He didn't move.
I know this is a horrible situation, but I'm sorry, bro. Why is it a hot dog sitting in a clear plastic cup? What the freak y'all got going on in this house? The freak you do, ho?
Brother and sister?
His twin.
They're twins?
Yes.
How old are they?
5.
5.
Oh,
Okay. And how was he?
3.
3?
Oh, he had nosebleeds, but that's it. That's it. He had no nosebleeds or nothing. He had nosebleeds.
Charles' sudden death leaves officers searching for answers, but any hope of an explanation must wait for investigators who are on their way to the scene. For now, officers outside on the devastating situation.
Typically, I'm one to jump off, ready to go. This was one that I really didn't want to. Yeah. I was literally holding my breath, please don't, please don't. I knew it was coming.
I don't know what the kid is. I didn't see the kid.
Well, when you just had a kid, the last thing you want to do is go on a dead kid call.
It don't get any easier.
Yeah.
We gotta wait for mom to get here, and then we gotta call mom down enough to get info on the kid. We only know his name. They don't name murder tag and medical history. They stay with grandparents, right?
They stayed the night here. They all live here.
No, so they were just visiting, supervising the kid.
Probably babysitting someone to go out, which is fine. I don't.
Once we get the information, I'll call the coroner. I'm sure he'll want to come out. It's wildly unusual.
Suddenly, an unidentified male approaches the scene and is stopped by officers who've been instructed not to let anyone inside.
Hello. Do you know them inside of there? Yeah. How do you know them? Are you neighbors or something?
That's my girl. It's my girl kids.
Okay. Okay. Who are you to them?
I'm her daughter boyfriend.
Yeah. Unfortunately, nobody can go in there right now. So.
Seconds later, the mother of the 3 children, including the deceased 5-year-old boy, races toward the home.
Why?
Sorry, you can't go inside right now.
I can't go inside.
Come here. Come here.
Please, I just want to see my baby. Please.
No. He said we're not letting her in.
Oh my God.
We'll have to talk to her. Huh? We'll have to
You
talk to
think he
her.
woke up like this? I don't know. Oh my God. Please,
Man, let me in my crib. Freak, bro.
Premature, is that correct?
32 weeks, yes.
Okay. Any other medical issues?
No.
No complications?
No, none.
Thank you.
No.
I'm sorry.
My baby gone.
Yeah.
What?
This man said, yeah. He could have just said, yes, your baby is deceased, man. This man just said, yeah, he's dead. I mean, what do you even say, bro? Honestly, what do you say, bro?
Inside the house, the grandmother agrees to sign a consent to search the home, and investigators are brought up to speed on the situation.
Grandma put him down in bed 10, 11 last night. That's when she last saw him out here sleeping on the couch. This morning, before she called, she said he had she described it as a bloody nose. Wiped it up. The tissues are still in the toilet. And noticed he wasn't responding. Called 911. Just kind of looks like he aspirated.
Does everyone live here or grandma just babysit?
Grandma watches the kids every weekend, she says.
Okay.
She was sleeping on the couch with the 2 boys. I think she said the girl was asleep in the bed.
She was sleeping on the couch with them?
She said she was on the couch with the 2 boys.
After completing their search, investigators uncover a shocking clue that may explain Charles's sudden death, which lands Stephanie in an interrogation room. Before confronting her with their findings, they first question her about the events of the previous day. She explains that she usually watches the children every Saturday and Sunday while their mother works, but this time she took them in on Friday morning because their daycare was closed for Good Friday. She describes their day and evening as typical, where the children played in and out of the home until nightfall.
10 or 10:30 or 11, something like that. Little Charles came and said, "Mom, I'm tired, I'm sleepy." I said, "Well, get up on the couch and lay down and go to sleep."
What did he look like when he said I was tired?
He didn't really look, I mean, he looked tired in the eyes, but he didn't look like, nothing I would notice.
Was he acting weird? Was he like stumbling or maybe like nodding off?
No, he was just tired, just moving slow.
He wasn't nodding off?
No.
Okay.
Stephanie gives one of the investigators permission to go through her phone, while the other prepares to confront her with what they found inside her home.
Can you help me understand all the straws and stuff that are laying around? And the white powder and substances that are laying around?
Grandma was on that stuff, trying to watch babies. You snorting lines and you trying to take care of kids. Like, what the freak are you doing?
Well, that was from me doing boy earlier then, but it wasn't me doing boy now.
Okay. You doing boy earlier as in when?
15 hours ago. Stop lying, ho.
And just for clarification, boy is heroin, correct?
Oh,
When
heroin.
Friday were you doing it?
That morning.
That morning?
Before they got there.
Around what time?
About 7. I had it that night, but I did it that morning. Because I didn't know I had to watch the kids. I thought I had to watch them at
I get that, yeah. You thought you had an extra day.
Yeah,
I get it.
So I did it.
Based on the evidence and her own admission, the investigator poses a devastating theory.
I think that Charles overdosed.
No, he didn't overdose.
That's my suspicion. All right. Now we're gonna find out some more when he goes through an autopsy. All right. We're gonna find out some more from his blood results.
But it wasn't nothing in there when he went in the bedroom. I had did it all. It was nothing but dust on the thing. That's all that was on there.
So when was he in there?
He wasn't in there. He was not in there. The little girl, she went in there late that night. It was gone in.
The frequencies.
And it was all off the straws and everything. I licked the straws because I didn't have no money. That's why I did that.
When did you lick the straws?
3 days before.
3 days before?
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, there was residue in the cigarette pack that you had with the straw on the table.
But it wasn't nothing in the cigarette pack. Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. It wasn't nothing.
And here's the thing, like, I know that there might not be very much or not an amount that you would ever pay for or not an amount that you would consider to be anything, but you and I both know that drugs to an adult, drugs to someone who uses regularly, that's going to be a different amount than someone who's small. Now, you might have had it on your fingers, you might have had it on that table, you might have had it on other things, but the thing is that you regularly have heroin in that apartment. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's accurate.
Yeah. And
but
go ahead.
But it wasn't nothing in there, but dust in there. But how could dust even do anything to him?
And so when we say heroin, it's not the heroin that we are talking about from, the 90s.
Okay.
There's so many different forms of opioids that are killing people, and ultimately we will probably find out that this is some type of fentanyl. So you don't have to have grams to kill micrograms, especially for someone who is only 30 pounds. It's a huge amount.
Despite the explanation, Stephanie still seems to struggle with accepting the possibility.
If we find that there's some heroin, correct. If we find heroin in his body, would you agree with me that you're right?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do all that. We're going to pull his blood and we're going to identify what substances are in his body. Okay? But I can tell you that he didn't just die this morning. Based on how he looked, his body had already started to decompose. He had been dead for some time.
The investigator questioned Stephanie about where she obtained the substances. She claims
Done.
she purchased them from a man
He
named
been
Greg,
dead, and you just-
but her reluctance to share more
Man.
information about him causes the interrogation to grow increasingly more intense.
You want to give me some more information about Greg?
Well, I don't know him that well.
How did you get a hold of him?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Here's kind of what's going to change my opinion about you, okay? And I'm just going to be real honest, all right? Because I saw your daughter's broken heart when she saw her deceased, her dead son, who had been dead for hours, okay? I saw your grandson who had been dead for hours.
Hours earlier, neighbors, friends, and family stood witness to the grieving mother's reaction when her son's body was moved to the coroner's van.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Please, no, nobody back there. No, nobody back there. No, nobody. Get off of me.
Stephanie gives investigators a street name but no exact address, along with a vague physical description. However, a startling discovery on her phone shifts the investigation dramatically, casting doubt on everything she said about Greg.
On your phone, who is Bonk HD?
I don't know who that is.
And you called somebody named Bonk/HD.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
You
don't know who that
is.
is.
Yesterday between 7:40 a.m. and 11 a.m.
As one investigator steps out of the room to take a closer look at the phone, the other continues to press Stephanie for the truth.
On a certain level, I don't care about your drug habit. What I care about is Charles is dead. Charles is over at the coroner's office right now.
I believe that when I hear about from the autopsy.
Well, he's dead, right?
Yes.
He's dead.
Yes.
He died in your apartment.
Yes.
Okay? So if we're going to sit in here and talk, I want you to be truthful about things, or walk out that door
I just looked at the phone. You text Bonk HD as well to buy heroin.
The what?
To buy heroin. You're really starting to make me mad again. The store's always open. Like he's totally been done a phenomenal job telling you that you can walk out here anytime. You buy drugs with Bonk HD. You're lying. You being dishonest is not going to get you anywhere. There is a dead child.
Your grandbaby.
But I don't want.
For God's sake. I prayed with your daughter over your dead grandson. Your dead grandson, and you're lying about buying drugs. Are you kidding me? Do you love your grandbabies?
No.
Do you? Then prove it. Or walk out that door.
Consistently you lie. And then we have to confront you with what we know, and then you tell us the truth. It doesn't matter. There's a dead baby. There's a dead.
Right? What the freak you mean? Am I in trouble? It's a dead baby. What you think, ho? Thought you about to walk out free and buy some old heroin and crack and cocaine? Buy some old boy? It's a dead boy, ho.
Baby, then you for trying not to get yourself in trouble, but we have to look at this. That is your grandson lying there dead on the couch. Look at that.
No.
Look at that.
No.
Because of your actions, and you're still sitting here trying to deflect the truth.
No, I'm not.
These lights are on.
No.
The truth will come out in this room. Someone will be held responsible for this dead child. It's unacceptable. And what frustrates me the most is that you are unwilling to take accountability for what has happened. You have given us partial truths.
Right, it gets to a point, bro. Mugs need to take accountability. If you end up getting somebody killed over doing something, being irresponsible and not thinking, take responsibility, own up to your actions, snitch on yourself, or you just go make it worse. You see what I'm saying? What's the point of even lying, bro? You did do it. You did that, ho. You bought them drugs. You the reason why he dead.
And over Greg and the mysterious contact in her phone, the investigator presents her a final ultimatum.
Here's the thing. At the end of this, my partner and I, you, whenever you're done, we're gonna walk out of this room, all right? We're gonna go back to our families, all right? Charles is over there alone, in a bag. And tomorrow morning, my partner and I are going to come in here on Easter morning, Resurrection Day, and we're going to watch the examiners examine your grandchild's baby, your grandchild's body. All right? I'm not worried about people getting in trouble and all this, all right? What I'm worried about is the truth, and actions have consequences. You know that. That's why you've been lying to us.
No, I've been lying because I didn't want to get nobody in trouble.
What's more important to you?
Your grandson is dead and you worried about getting people in trouble. You don't care about him. You never cared about nobody but yourself, ho. Let's be real. If you actually took accountability and took into thought what could possibly go down, you wouldn't be doing boy around a little boy.
Getting in trouble or the fact that your grandson is dead? Then prove it.
Well, don't got no morality, bro.
Prove it or walk out. Or we can close this door and we can talk about the truth for the sake of Charles over there, who's alone. What do you want to do?
Choosing to stay, Stephanie finally reveals the truth.
He's my regular drug supplier.
He's your regular drug supplier. So I can ignore what you said about Greg at the store?
Yeah.
That was a lie?
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday you had the case?
Yes.
And you got some drugs in the morning, but then you tried to get more drugs?
Yes.
What was different that you were trying to get more drugs?
Because
and the kids were there?
Because I wasn't feeling too good. I wasn't feeling well.
Like dope sick?
Yeah.
Despite her admission, the only way to be certain is to review the results of Charles's autopsy and toxicology report.
You know, science takes a minute, right?
Yeah.
So when we get those results, when we get your results and it says that, you know, that you have maybe some heroin and some fentanyl in your system, You're not going to be surprised, right?
No.
When we find that in the system, what are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell Charles?
That I had to my father killed him.
A post-mortem toxicology report for 5-year-old Charles Anthony Brown ruled his cause of death as intoxication by fentanyl and other illegal substances. According to his death certificate, the approximate time between the onset of exposure and death would have been minutes. On his death certificate, the manner of death is listed as an accident. 58-year-old Stephanie Shanks pleaded guilty to felony involuntary manslaughter, as well as 2 misdemeanor charges of endangering children, and was sentenced to 4 to 6 years in prison.
4 to 6 years is crazy, bro. Get that whole life. Get that whole life, bro. 4 to 6 years. You know how fast 4 to 6 years pass? When your drug habit is valued more than the life of your dead 5-year-old grandson, your soul is going. And you belong to those drugs. You don't care about nobody but those drugs. You see everybody as an object in the way of getting those drugs. You see what I'm saying? She didn't freaking care, bro. Freaking 6 years, man. 66 years. 6 decades, ho.